I'm Kristina, Kloberdanz, Chief Sustainability Officer at Mastercard, and I'm here with Izabella Teixeira. And Mastercard created our Priceless Planet Coalition last year, committing to plant 100 million trees around the globe. And we firmly believe that nature matters, science matters, and business has a role to play. But it's not our core competency. We're not the experts in this. And so in order to do this the right way, we have to be guided by experts. And so we have an advisory council that assists us with our Priceless Planet Coalition. And we have the privilege of speaking with one of them here today, Izabella. Izabella, we're here at this COP, and nature has a integrated presence here with climate, like, as I've heard, not in previous COPs. What are your feelings about nature in this COP, and what maybe gives you hope going forward?
I think that we have a really special momentum here in Glasgow. Two perspectives. The first one is that Glasgow is a conference, it's a key conference to implement Paris, not to replace Paris. And to implement Paris is not based on energy emissions, but also the role of land use agenda. And so nature is present. Okay, it's not only consider how we achieve all the movements to manage a 1.50 degree, this is nature, but also what's the role of land use agenda, that means forests and nature. So this is the first COP that to have this new political perspectives, a global political perspective, to bring together biodiversity, nature, and climate change. And this is fantastic because it's a new way to understand how you tackle climate change, but also how you grow based on nature, not against nature.
Perfect. And I've heard you say that the focus is the world has to get to a 1.5 degrees Celsius, but that we can't get there without the Amazon. Can you explain a little bit what you're saying?
Yes, it's important that you can see the role of tropical forests around the world. You have three important basins, like Amazon region, Congo Basin, and also Mekong Basin. And Amazon is very important for the climate stability. So if you remove Amazon, if you destroy Amazon, it's not only the impacts of Brazilian society, but to have a global impact. And this means that Amazonia is key for our security, climate stability. To achieve 1.5, we need to preserve Amazonia. But also to preserve Amazonia, we need that the world change the directions to have really a low carbon economy around the world, and new styles, new way to live with nature. So it's how we can come together. Nature all the time shows to us and say, come on, it's not only a partnership or alliance. We need to be committed. This is very important. So for me, it's a new concept again, and it's like not only to be global player, but to be planetary ones. It's a new understanding how to become planetary. This happened here in Amazonia. Is a key example how we have to preserve Amazonia, to not only for Brazilians, but for the global communities.
And when we think about initiatives and reforestation and doing it responsibly, first and foremost, it needs to have the benefit of climate, but it also needs community and biodiversity. And could you share with us the importance of the local communities, the indigenous communities, as we go about trying to do good?
This is, for me, one of the most important points or key issue of this global agenda. To tackle climate change, you need to go to the ground to understand the local realities and local needs. And when you go into areas like Amazon regions like Amazon forest, it's very important to understand the local realities and also how people come together with nature. So restore degraded areas. This is part of the global climate strategy, because it's not only cut emissions, we need to remove carbon from the atmosphere. One of the best way to do this is planting trees. We need to understand that it's not only go there mechanically and to have the seeds and to have the trees. We need to have people together. We need to understand how they use this for job generation, etc., etc. But the local knowledge, it's so important for us to be efficient and how well succeed. We need to learn with these people. So it's amazing that you can have this open-minded approach that, in my opinion, is the new world that's coming. Okay, means people matters. forest matters, nature matters. So it needs to be together to understand how we'll face or tackle climate change and also biodiversity loss and environmental degradation, but not only to solve the problems. We are part of the solutions and we must be engaged together.
Absolutely. We can't go in as a single stakeholder. We have to be doing it with the local communities. And for Mastercard, our overall mission is to build a more inclusive and sustainable digital economy. And that's where the initiatives of social and environment, they're inextricably linked. We can't have them separate.
You're absolutely right. That's why I like too much how Mastercard brings Priceless plan. Everyone here likes to talk about markets, pricing, carbon prices. There is something very important, the value of life, and we as humanity need to understand this better than to have been understanding the last century. So my feeling is that really Priceless plan can show that we have a global movement, all the private sector, investors, consumers, but let's understand how we change the world based on local realities and make the difference in a positive way.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Isabella.
Nice to see you again.
Appreciate you.
Very nice. Yeah.